Now, been a while since I made one of these, but welcome to Indie Outie episode 41. But I'm not doing an Indie Outie, which are normally things where I take a look at an indie game for the first time and decide if it gets to stay indie switch or get booted outie. But instead, I'm looking at these games Bleed and Bleed 2, which are two awesome little indie titles that I've been playing quite a while. And yeah, I just noticed that they were actually on sale on the both US and EU eShops, and I thought I'd kind of put a bit of a spotlight on them for anyone who joins my channel, and especially people who watch my indie videos, because this is one of those games where it absolutely ticks all the boxes for me. A cute little story of a character called Ren who basically sees other heroes and thinks, I want to be one of those. So she decides to kick their ass and level up through the ranks of the heroes. And yeah, you've got quite a lot of different weapons throughout this game, and it's a cool, like, simple little story, but it's one of the ones that ticks the main box for me in terms of like a nice indie game, and that is the controls. And like, Bleed is just all about the kind of style when it comes to the way it's played, and it's one of the games that I really like it, where you can get through stages without getting hit once, or you can get your ass kicked really badly by them. But it is just down to the case of when you're getting damaged, usually there is a way you could have avoided the damage, and the game is quite fair in terms of, like, yeah, giving you the tools that are required to stay safe in it. And yeah, I just really enjoy both of these. And like I said, both Bleed 1 and Bleed 2, I'm just going to be looking at Bleed 1 here, but they're both coming in around the 350 to 500 megs mark, I believe. But there is a pack on the eShop right now, like I said, that's reduced quite substantially. It's quite a lot of a better idea to actually look at the prices of them as a combined sale rather than the two, because the prices, if I recall, is like 350 at the moment for one, whereas it's about 450 for the two games together. So I'll take a look at that later on in the video and kind of point out the pricing on them. But yeah, just to take a look at this game, or games, they are pretty cool, like, in terms of what they offer. And it is just about 7 or 8 stages per game, but it is like one where you can come back in and have a blast with these again and again. Now, it's also 2-player co-op, and it is very easy to make 2-player co-op. It is just a case of like pressing start on a second controller to pop in a second character, and you get a slightly different hair colored Ren. But yeah, this is it's a weird one because it's a 2D platformer, but it is played with both it's a twin stick 2D platformer. So it's your left analog stick to move back and forth, right analog stick to gun, and then you have the jump on your R2 button. And when you're jumping, you can completely control the angle of Ren in the air. And then you can add extra control to it, because when you're jumping or moving or doing anything, you can also hold the L2 button to slow down time. And yeah, you can use that to like absolutely weave back and forth through like even the heaviest of gunfire in this game, which is really enjoyable to be doing. L1 and R1 change back and forth between the two weapons that you selected for mission. There's a range of different ones that you can purchase. So here I'm using just the twin pistols, which is what you start off the game with, and the rocket launcher, which causes a massive amount of splash damage. Rocket launcher has one major kind of weakness though, and that is the fact that when you slow down time, you're not really going to get in a whole lot of shots of that in between you and the enemy, because obviously your own rockets are also affected by time. Yeah, the bullets are also to a degree, but they travel quite a lot further in the air than those rockets do. So it is a case of like trying to get a good feel for the different weapons and how they are used during this game. But I'm just going to give a quick run through here of the first stage. And like I said, I think the people who this kind of a game would appeal to would know immediately of like, oh, that's for me, or oh no, that's way too kind of complex and tight controls, because you can take too many hits in this game. But at the same time, it's like you get all those tools like pretty much from jump to be able to avoid it. You have your time meter just underneath the life, and that's what allows you to enter that bullet time state, and yeah, take even extra control to stomp out your enemies. But yeah, you do have it where, like, if an enemy is shooting at you... Whoa. Oh no! This is a game where you also need to focus a tiny bit. And yeah, that is kind of tough while chatting. But as I was saying, this is a game where you can completely weave in and out between gunfire shots and such things. Yeah, you see there how easy it is to actually die in this game. Like, for some players, this may be a bit of an off-putting thing, and this game will kick your ass quite a few times while you're playing through it. Like, it takes quite a lot to kind of figure out some of the bosses and their attacks, especially some of the later ones. You really do. They really are pretty unforgiving in terms of like what they ask the player of, but at the same time, you do have all of those skills that like are just pretty much tailor-made to be able to take down the enemies in this game, and the controls are absolutely awesome. So like when you die in this game, it sucks, but at the same time, it's like I said, it's the type of game where I love it, because it's like when you die, it's not a case of, ooh, I got cheated out of something, or that was cheap. It is a case of, oh, there was X or Y that I could have done to prevent myself from dying or even getting hit in this game. So like, yeah, you saw like just with one little misstep on that hole, just like, yeah, end up fly down a hole, die, game over. But you do, like I said, you can repeat the stages almost instantaneously. The only thing is there's bonuses that you get for score, which you then use to unlock extra power-ups and weapons and stuff like that, and ratings. Oh, awesome helicopter boss with missiles that you can slow down, because his missiles also suffer that same like drastic slowdown when you use your slowing time ability. Even when they're coming down from above, you can just pretty much step in and out through them. And yeah, you can use like your slowdown time abilities, obviously both offensively and defensively. So slowing down time here just to make sure I can nip over him as he flies forward with his attacks. And even, yeah, like his machine gun fire, it would be a stream of near instant like whoa, bullet fire. But yeah, you can see again, like once you know your kind of enemy attack pattern, it is possible to just weave and duck and dodge in between their attacks. That, like, these type of games really are a case of like getting to kind of grips with your character's motions, and then just seeing how you can use that to absolutely decimate enemies throughout this. First boss. Whoa! One thing I will say about this is it's pretty good in terms of like, say, checkpoints. So like obviously I'm in pretty low health now, but if I was to die right now, I will actually just respawn very, very close to this boss. I'll be right outside his room, so didn't anyway. But still, yeah, if you would die there, say you would just respawn outside, lose a small bit of score for that death, courtesy of the hole. But yeah, like, I mean, if you've seen this type of game, you'll know pretty much straight away if it's the type of game you'd enjoy or not. But like that controls, I can't stress enough just how enjoyable the controls are. Obviously, yeah, shooting down a hole was kind of like a bit bad, but at the same time, it's a good way of seeing just how easy it is to die in this. But yeah, like with these games on sale at the minute, I said I'd give this a shout out because they're normally around, I think, is it €15 per title? And the bundle pack comes in at about 30. It's not much of a reduction, but you see them on sale quite frequently. So if you're watching this video as it's been released, yeah, I'd advise maybe checking these out as fast as you can and seeing if they're still on sale in your areas. Like I said, I think in America it's on sale for another couple of days, and then here in EU it's on sale for the next 2 weeks. So I'm not sure if there's a reason for that by them, but it might have been just a mistake on their part. But at the same time, like, these games often appear on sale. So if you're scrolling down through the list on the eShop and you see these on special offer, I definitely give it a strong thumbs up. But yeah, I'm going to just give 1 point out of something else as well. Now, so this is my Switch. And yeah, I have a 512 gigabyte micro SD card in that. And it's full. and then some. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be trying to do more indie and outie in the next while because yeah, quite a lot of this space is taken up with indie games, and some of them are going to be obviously awesome, but some not so good. So I'm going to take a pan through this, and can I make a suggestion that if anyone's watching this video spots a game on here that's more indie based, not these AAA type titles, but if you spot a game that's indie based and is either exceptionally good or exceptionally bad, because those are the ones that I really enjoy playing, give me a shout and say it in the comments down below to maybe go and actually play that game and take a look at it, because I really love the suggestions. And if they are really good games, like stuff like Bleed, or I had a suggestion of like Axiom Verge and Dead Cells. They're two games that I have, but I still haven't played them, but they're meant to be really awesome. But yeah, if you see spot a game on this that you'd recommend for playing, even for the sake of it's really good and I should play it, or it's really terrible and I should take a look at it to laugh at it, do just pause the video on this and shout. Now, there is an awful lot of games, so I'm not going to scroll down through this slowly, but it is possible, I've seen with a tester, to pause this and actually see the individual titles of the games. Because yeah, the Switch is pretty fast at loading those up. You can also see just how many games are on my system. There's some of the outies at the end. And some other games which are awesome, but like, yeah, unfortunately that's like 20 gigs, another 20 gigs and 20 gigs. And I have the first Bioshock installed. But yeah, I'll pan back up through those again. So like I said, if you want to hit pause on that, take a look and see. There's quite a few really good games on there, I'm sure. And yeah, there's going to be a few that some will point out the fact that they've been played at a certain point, like they might say that they've been played before, but chances are a load of those indie titles are games where I've just downloaded them and then just clicked to open it to see. It's like, oh yeah, that opens, and then close out of it again. So yeah, definitely, like, I would appreciate any kind of input in terms of games to play, guys. Just chuck a comment down below, and yeah, let me know if there's anything cool down there. And as I mentioned earlier in the video, by the way, these titles are both on sale now for the next 2 weeks on the EU store, and for about the next 3 to 4 days as of the release of this video on the US store. But these titles both appear on special offer quite frequently, so they're well worth picking up. But it was just when I saw this one on offer, I said I may as well do this video right now, because I really enjoy these games, and I'd like more people to kind of experience the fun, especially even single player, but also, like I said, co-op is awesome as well. But unfortunately, due to restrictions, I can't have somebody else blast through these indies with me. But yeah, they are here, for, like I said, for $4.19 for both of those titles combined. It is possible to also buy these individual titles, so you could get Bleed 1 or Bleed 2 individually. They're both on sale as well. But the thing is, they're actually on sale for about $3.50 each. So it's only kind of €1 extra on top of the price of one of the games to get both together. And realistically, if you've watched in this video and you thought that looks enjoyable, like, both titles are very similar to each other. Bleed 2 just refines in a few things and kind of expands the story and adds a few extra characters into the mix, but it's generally more of the same, and it's all good stuff. So definitely, if you're going to throw down $3.50 on this one, you may as well just go to full hog and just get that collection of the two. I got them both individually as they released for the Switch, but didn't grant me the actual double pack thing. That still says they're going to buy that for €4 or so. So yeah, I'm not doing that, but I do have them both purchased. And yeah, definitely, I would say very worth checking out. Regular price of these games is around the €10 mark each, and like, they're quite worth it for that, even if you don't see this during a sale. But if you like what you've seen in this video, and yeah, like I said, just especially now that they're on special offer, go and check them out. In America, they are actually only on offer for another 4 days, and in the EU store, they're on offer for another 2 weeks. But definitely just know the fact that you can have both eShops on a Nintendo Switch, because the console is completely region free. But you might look at a YouTube guide just on how to set that up, because you do need to set up an account in the other land, and you'll need to get an address that works in both of them. If you are setting up an address in the state side, you'll want to look up states which don't have a sales tax, because yeah, you can get the games for a little portion cheaper again doing that, but you will have to go through a few extra hoops when it comes to buying eShop credit and the likes. But definitely worth doing if you're going to be buying a lot of digital games, which I tend to do. But yeah, guys, I said I'd just take a look at these games anyway and shine a spotlight on them, especially, like I said, while they are just Yeah, €4.19 for the two of those titles together. Like, if you like what you've seen in this video, definitely can't recommend them enough, because I've finished both of these titles and still gone back to play some of the bosses again and again and some of those stages, because they're really enjoyable. And it's one of those games that I love where when you die because you kind of messed up a bit, and yeah, you can always play a bit better and do better. I love a game that has controls like that, and this one definitely ticks the boxes for that. So this one is definitely a big indie, and it should be in all of the Switches. Yeah, it's definitely one I would recommend strongly. And yeah, I'll leave it at that. There's a sub button up here over my head. My other videos are here and here, mostly asphalt bits right now, but I'm trying to get back into doing indie or outie. And yeah, I showed you that list of my games. So if you want to pause the video at that point during this and see if there's anything that's like, hey, you should play that game, Storm, definitely go for it. Shout it down in the comments and I'll check it out if it's a really good game or if it's a really terrible game, because I kind of like, there's two sides to these games. I really love it when a game is amazingly good and when it's amazingly bad. There's so many in the middle indie games, so it's unfortunate some of them are just like, I was playing a solitaire game recently and it was just like, it's solitaire. It wasn't great solitaire, but it wasn't bad solitaire, but you could make a video just like, it's solitaire. By the way, those solitaire games that are on the Switch, they're all just solitaire. There's nothing great about them. There's nothing bad. If you want a solitaire game, yeah, awesome. Can't make a video out of that too. But yeah, guys, the sub button probably be up here now rather than earlier. But yeah, give that one a click, please. And like I said, leave a comment down below if you have any recommendations on indie games to check out from that list in particular. I'm always keen to buy more, but yeah, at the same time, my Switch is completely filled right now. Okay, guys, we'll see you on the next one.